Brother lads, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Player ratings for Arsenal 3, Tottenham 2 at the White Hart Lane, and our title struggle continues. Obviously, Manchester City have beaten Nottingham Forest by 2-0. That actually means that they still... they're mathematically on top of the table. They have a game in hand, which is against Tottenham Hotspur. We pray... We have to turn to Tottenham Hotspur right now, which is actually very, very hard. But let's do the player ratings and mark every player out of 10 with me right now. So let's start off with David Raya, who I thought in this game wasn't actually really that bad. But for me, you're playing in the North London derby, and these players have got to understand this. You know, David Raya is not a young player, old player. He's lived through moments of championship promotion. He knows what it means to go for victory. He knows what it means to play games like this. Obviously, he's never played against Manchester City, or a Tottenham Hotspur when you're fighting for the title. But that was absolutely unnecessary. That goal was avoidable. Tottenham Hotspur going 3-0 down, that broke them. They didn't have a lifeline. And even when they came back in the second half, they played just to give their fans something to cheer. Just to give their fans a reason not to empty the stadium before 60 minutes. And then you give them that. You give them a reason to believe. You give them a reason to come back in this game. You give them a reason to stop Arsenal from trying to win the title. That was ridiculous. Ridiculous. For me, and Mikel and his team, they've got to understand and they've got to teach these guys how to play in the big games, how to handle the big games. First, it was Bayern at the Emirates Stadium, and in my opinion, both goals are are caused by mistakes. Right? If Gabriel Magalhaes just puts the ball outside for a throw-in against Harry Kane, that is not a goal for Bayern, and therefore they don't get a first goal, and therefore they don't get a second. Right? Because you have killed the game. You have killed them. Stop making these mistakes at this stage. For me, David Raya, I didn't like it. I really, really didn't. It was unnecessary. He had an easier pass, and the instructions should have been very clear. Make sure we concede no goals because the game is over. So David Raya, I'm gonna give him a 5 out of 10. Honestly, in a game that we've won, I've got to give him a 5 out of 10 because I cannot blame that goal on the defenders. I cannot blame anyone, and he is to blame. Right? You cannot even distribute the responsibility for that game, for that goal, because everyone is standing in position. They have given him a very nice, a very, very nice options, and the Spurs players are actually not pressing him. 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. Let's go on. Ben White today, exceptional again. I think he's one of those players that becoming better and better every single day. Every single time, he is a massive, massive player for this Arsenal side. So for Ben, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10. My only problem with Ben, and again in this game he was much better, is 1v1 situations. Is when you take the ball to him. But I thought in this game, much better, defensively solid, and also going forward, he was key. He was providing enough width. He was providing enough support for Odegaard and Saka down that right-hand side. Obviously, we know Arsenal play a lot of our attacking football on the right-hand side, and Ben White is a key part of that. Takara Tomiyasu, 7 out of 10 as well. Again, he's one of those players that were always going to have a stressful evening. Dejan Kulusevski, quality. And when Spurs was signing him, I think that was around 2 years ago, I said Arsenal could try to do this deal. Arsenal could try go and get Dejan Kulusevski. Now, I'm not really sure if he is as direct as Saka, as direct as Gabriel Martinelli, but if Mikel Arteta didn't sign him, then probably he didn't see a reason to. But for me, he's a quality player. And Takara Tomiyasu dealt with him very well, especially in the first minutes of the game. You could see he was very tight on him. He was, getting his hands all over him. He was, whenever Kulusevski was receiving the ball on the half turn or even before turning, Takara Tomiyasu was there. And that's what you want to do with teams that play with wingers. I said it, that the one way Spurs can hurt Arsenal is with these quick wingers. Johnson, Werner, and Kulusevski. And Mikel Arteta saw it and he dealt with it. The centre-back pairing, today didn't really, like I said in my preview, they didn't really have a lot to do, honestly. And why was that? Because Arsenal played a very compact game and we forced Spurs out, into wide areas. And our goalkeeper, David Raya, is ranking number 1 in collecting crosses and balls from wide areas. So literally, I said it in the preview that if you're Gabriel and Saliba, this is your holiday, bro. And it was a holiday for them. For me, cannot even blame them for anything. We were sitting deep, which means that they were not playing a very, very high line. They were not progressing the ball, but they kept their concentration because Heung-min Son is one of those guys that you give him 2 chances, he will bury one. Of course, we gave him 1 chance. He didn't bury it, but we didn't give him a second. So Gabriel and Saliba, with Gabriel, I'll give him that 8 out of 10 because I thought his composure was much better. With Saliba, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I still think he is that guy that is just quality. Very, very quality centre-back. Lucky to have him at the side. Lucky that Mikel Arteta didn't blow the opportunity of him playing for Arsenal because that would have been kind of disastrous, honestly. Okay, so for me, again, if you want to give Saliba more, you could. If you want to give Gabriel more, you could. I only don't think that I can give them more. Thomas Partey in midfield. Relevant resource, in my opinion, because he adds that physicality and that, unpredictability. He's a good player when it comes to receiving the ball on the half turn and also, progressing it as well. I thought Jorginho would have been the much better player. And this could be stupid, but I thought we didn't really exploit that high line very well. And I thought Jorginho and Gabriel Martinelli could have been the 2 key people and 2 key players that would have exploited that high line. Of course, we know Mickey van der Ven is the fastest player in the Premier League. That means that you need pace in behind. So I thought Jesus and Gabriel Martinelli should have played in this game. But with Partey, what I liked about him in this game, calm, composed, and very, very alert and attentive to whatever was happening. Like, he won the ball when he needed to. He picked up a yellow card when he needed to. And you could see that everything he was doing in this game was with precision. Everything he was doing within this game was well calculated and well, premeditated. Unprecedented performance? No. Not really. I thought he would have tried to play that ball over the top a couple of times for Saka and Trossard to run into, but generally his performance was okay. 7 out of 10. Martin Odegaard, again, with the way we were sitting very deep, I didn't think that Martin Odegaard was going to have a lot to do in this game. Clearly he didn't. I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well because we won the game. I think he affected the final third, especially in the first half, very well. Really, really well. But overall, right, because we were not pressing, Tottenham in their own half, we're not trying to win the ball back quicker, as high as possible. We were waiting for them to come on to us and then make it difficult for them, just stay compact. His work rate as a captain is unquestionable. Like, he's one of the best players when it comes to work rate and pressing. But there wasn't really there. There wasn't anything there. Like, you can't compare him to Saka or Kai Havertz in this game. So, 7 out of 10. Declan Rice caused a penalty. Should have caused another penalty. Almost caused 2 penalties in this game. But I don't want to say I told you so. Because when I was doing my preview still, I said, Declan Rice, this is not your game. Yeah, this is not your game. Because what did we look out to do? And I thought Mikel would do this. Sit back in shape and exploit that space in behind Mickey van der Ven and Christian Romero, right? In games like that, you need ball winners, like good ball winners, and Declan Rice is a good ball winner. But you also need good ball progressors or players that can play that sharp pass. I don't think that's Declan Rice. I don't think that's the guy. The guy loves to dribble, like he's in a circus, rotating. wasn't his game for me. It wasn't his game. And Mikel knew, but of course, Declan Rice is the replacement of Granit Xhaka. Reliable, durable, plays every game. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well. For me, the penalty, I can't blame him. The second one, I can't blame him. He's he's watching the ball. It's dropping from the sky. Very, very difficult to deal with around the penalty area because there's so many opposition players there. And Ben Davies does very well because he just clears the ball out of the way and he he stays in danger, and Rice kicks through him. Really, really kicks through him. So Rice 7 out of 10 as well. Not the best game. I thought Partey, Jorginho, and Odegaard would have been the best, combination for this game. Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz, for me, he was the problem for Tottenham Hotspur. And they didn't deal with him, and he cost them. The second goal that Saka scores, it's Kai Havertz who plays the ball into Saka. So he gets another assist. But most importantly, that header. And by the way, he had scored an offside goal where he had scored in a goal that was ruled out because Odegaard had gone a little bit earlier. So we are potentially talking 2 goals for Kai and an assist in this game. The problem with Spurs, and the problem I have with Ange Postecoglou, they know their weakness. They do nothing about it. And Mikel Arteta, credit to him, because he played the slowest player up top, and that kind of communicated to the Spurs, brain that because it's Kai up top, he's not Alexander Isak, he's not Anthony Gordon, he's not Gabriel Martinelli, he's not Saka. Mickey van der Ven, who is the fastest player in the Premier League, can deal with him, right? And I thought that was really, really wrong because especially in the first half, on a couple of occasions, he was striding in behind, and Spurs were facing it difficult to actually deal with him. The reason as to why they failed to deal with him is he's got a very, very strong understanding of space, Kai. Like, he's more of Thomas Muller, and I'm still asking myself, why didn't Thomas Muller play in either of the 2 games that we played Bayern? Because he is your Kai Havertz. But anyway, with Kai Havertz, it's a 9 out of 10. The header is a bullet header, but not really bullet. It's just the power he puts on it allows him to put it past the goalkeeper. But most importantly, it's the direction. Because he's like 4 yards in, 4 yards out. Anything stronger than that, any wrong direction, that is onto the crossbar. But he doesn't. He's good. Isn't he? He's been really, really good. We'll give him a 9 out of 10. Saka for me is a 10 out of 10 performance. The goal is, you talk about Kai's brilliance on the pass, but the first touch for Saka, the second touch, and Ben Davies doesn't stand a chance, and Vicario doesn't stand a chance as well. The thing we've got to talk about Saka for me is, does he really impact games we want him to impact, or do we just not focus on what he does? Because in today's game, brilliant. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 for me for Saka. 10 out of 10. The amount of work our wingers put in defensively and what they're doing on the other end, it's criminal for anyone to have that, that work rate. Leo Trossard. Trossard, I'll give him a 7 out of 10 as well, because I don't think was average, but that left-hand side just doesn't give me the real vibes. I don't know why, but it just doesn't give me the real vibes. And obviously what we saw last campaign was Arsenal's right-hand side being the creative side and the left-hand side being the goal-scoring side. So you saw Gabriel Martinelli getting a lot of goals. You saw Xhaka getting onto the score sheet a couple of times, and also getting into positions where they wasted a lot of times. But you could see the left-hand side was the finishing point, and the right-hand side was the cooking point. This season kind of feels like the right-hand side cooks and the right-hand side finishes the chances. So Leo Trossard 7. Martinelli when he came on, 5. Yeah, he's not yet there. Kivio 7 or 8 because does well in making sure that we don't concede another. Mikel Arteta, first half 10 out of 10. Second half 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10. So we will divide that into 2 and we'll give him a 5 out of 10. For me, you don't blame the 2 goals on the manager. You don't. Honestly, you don't. You don't, right? I'm being a fool right now. You don't. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. But why I think he deserves a 5 is, why don't we throw something to Tottenham Hotspur? Why don't we, threaten them? We have kidnapped them. We are asking for ransom, and we have been given 70%. We need that extra 30%, and the extra 30%, because we felt like it's easy. The extra 30% almost cost us the 70%. But I'll give him an 8 out of 10, Mikel. 8 out of 10, okay. The referee and Michael Oliver. On an Arsenal perspective, from an Arsenal perspective, he gets a 10 out of 10, right? From an Arsenal perspective. But from a Tottenham Hotspur perspective, and from a person who loves football, in that lens, 0. Because for me, Spurs should have a penalty before Arsenal score their second goal. If they don't score a penalty, right? If it's not a penalty, it's a penalty. Yeah, it's not on James Maddison, on Dejan Kulusevski. It's a penalty, right? It's a penalty. And then after that, the Declan Rice penalty that he gives. How is he not seeing that? Like, he's literally there. He's there. Michael Oliver, best referee in England. Okay. I'll give him a 4. I mean, he really handled the game really well. I don't want to take anything away from him. Really handled the game very well, especially it's a derby. Let's give him a 7 out of 10, honestly. Let's give him a 7 out of 10. From a Spurs perspective, I know Spurs fans would say like 4, 5, right? Because that first penalty is a penalty. And he's got to give it. Anyway, that's it. Player ratings, hit the like button. We speak soon.